Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Good morning. So, my name is Michelle, and I am living with OCD, ADHD, PTSD, and the newest one is perimenopause. And so, I wanted to get on here and share with y'all my journey of what it looks like for me to live well with these different mental conditions. This morning, when I woke up, I was already having intrusive thoughts in my brain. If you have OCD, you know what that is. It can be extremely debilitating. It can take over your life if you let it, and it can hold you hostage. And so what I have learned to do over these last 5 years, I've been at a heightened state of stress due to PTSD after having a traumatic experience in 2021 of being attacked. And I've been healing and going through this journey of recovery and trying to understand what happened to my brain and going through all these different misdiagnoses and coming to understand that it's OCD. I was diagnosed a couple years ago with ADHD. At the same time, I knew it was PTSD because I have about 20 years in the healthcare field. So I knew something was wrong, I knew something was off, but I knew it was not those misdiagnoses of schizophrenia and bipolar, because again, being in the healthcare field, I knew I did not fit the bill for that. My symptoms didn't fully align with that, so I kept searching, I kept doing my own research, I kept advocating for myself, and I discovered that indeed it was OCD. What I have been learning over the years is that moving your body is one of the best things you can do to break yourself out of that OCD loop. And I'll share more as I go along this journey with you all to share how I am living well by breaking free from OCD. I am, for the most part, on the other side of PTSD. I still have triggers, but I use the tools and the tricks and the tips that I've gotten from my psychotherapist, both my paid psychotherapist and my virtual psychotherapist, because I am a student of YouTube University. And I have some amazing therapists and counselors and folks on there who specialize in OCD and PTSD. And perimenopause, y'all. Perimenopause, it has a lot of the things that you experience with perimenopause actually impacts your brain. It impacts your brain. And so sometimes you'll hear me say, child, that's peri. That's peri is short for perimenopause. But been living with ADHD my whole life. I didn't know. I actually studied ADHD to help my ex-husband, my kids, who I had an inkling that they had it, but the doctors didn't diagnose them. Being in healthcare, I know we don't always get it right. And so just me being an advocate, it's who I am, an advocate and an educator. I first learn and then I teach. So I have been doing that with myself, and I am somebody who don't like medicine. I don't like pills. I'll take it if I have to, but I know being in healthcare and studying healthcare, history of healthcare, and all the things, I understand that when you need it, you need it. So do what you got to do, take care of yourself. But I know most times with pharmaceutical medicine, it is to cover up, not to actually resolve and heal. And so for me, I didn't want to cover it up. I am a root cause person, so I wanted to get to the root of what was causing it. And so I will spend the time, I will spend the money, I will invest in myself to figure out what is causing it so I can completely uproot it and I can be done with it. So all in all, I woke up this morning and my brain just started to go. Like as soon as I opened up my eyes, y'all, my brain started to go. And so like I immediately start having intrusive thoughts. And if you stay in that loop, it gets stronger and stronger. And so I immediately got up. On the inside, you have this like you're in turmoil a bit. I'm trying to explain it to the folks who don't experience OCD, because I know it can be very trendy to get on these different mental conditions. But what I'm telling you is that if you don't have it, you don't want to say you have it just for a trend, just to be well known. having OCD is no joke. It holds you as its prisoner until you learn how to break free. So those of us that have OCD, we don't go around just bragging that we have it to get followers. It is one of the worst conditions that you can have, all right? Because you're trapped in your mind. You're trapped in your brain. And that's the worst place to be, trapped in your mind, not understanding what's happening, and everyone being afraid of everything and everyone around you. That's PTSD coupled with OCD. But feeling like you have to do this thing or else normally means something will happen to you or someone you love. That is a horrible place to be. So I encourage you out there, if you don't have OCD and you don't truly have PTSD, don't go around saying you have it, because it's not something I wish on my worst enemy, okay? My worst enemy. So for me, again, what I've learned to do is to move my body to break free in my brain, break free from OCD, hence the name of my page. So I do different things. So I'll take y'all along the way, journey along with me, and you'll see how I break free from OCD, how I continue to live well with OCD. And the kicker, you'll learn more about this, but the kicker is I'm a wellness educator. I've been teaching people and coaching and instructing and guiding for whatever that math is. So I started at 18, and now I am about to be 40. So whatever that math is. But I eventually had to be my own, like I became the patient. I was on the other side of that equation. And so I have learned to apply that. I felt like an imposter for such a long time, but I essentially had to apply all of those teachings that I would give to other people to myself, but on a whole different level. And so what you see is me applying what I used to teach to others to myself, and my understanding of brain health, what I used to teach to folks in the community. Like I used to do this thing called Power Up. So eating brain foods for boosting your power in your brain, your focus, your energy, all of that, your clarity. And now it's completely flipped because of my experience over the past 5 years, when my world just got turned upside down and it shifted. And so now I'm applying it, and it's just on another level. So I'll just take y'all with me as I continue to learn to live well with OCD. Okay, that's it. That's all. Let's get this quick workout in before I have to get ready for work. I already feel better, because when I got up, what I have learned is that when you're going through and you're in a loop of OCD, you actually have to physically break yourself out of it, because you can't break yourself out of it in your mind. So you have to get up from where you are and get into your life. So I immediately got up. I went in the kitchen and I started doing dishes. And while I was doing dishes, I started speaking life into myself. I started intentionally thinking about the great things that I have going on, things that I have to look forward to. And then I put some Joe Osteen on the TV while I was doing my laundry, like sorting my laundry to hang it up later and picking out my clothes for the day. And then I came in here to work out. And so I felt better as I moved on in my life and got into my life and got out of my head. And I want to let y'all know the reason why exercise helps with OCD so much is because it helps increase our dopamine and our serotonin in our brain, and that's crucial. And it also helps to reduce anxiety, and it disrupts the intrusive thoughts, which is the OCD loop, and it disrupts the compulsions associated with OCD. So you get an intrusive thought, do this or else, and then the very next part is I panic. I got to do something to stop this feeling that I don't like. I get obsessed over it. I hear the thought, the intrusive thought comes, you got to do this or else. Then you obsess over it. And that feeling that you have associated with the thought and the obsession, you then do a compulsion to get away, to get rid of the thought, to get rid of the feeling, to get rid of the uncomfortableness that you feel, the fear that you feel on the inside of your body, you do an act, which is a compulsion, to stop the intrusive thought, to get away from the feeling and the fear and all of that. And then it comes back around. You have a little relief, but then it comes back around. So it's a loop. It literally goes in a circle. The thought, the feeling, the fear associated with that thought, you obsess over it, then you do an act associated with that because you want to get rid of it. You want it to go away. And then you have a little relief, but the thought comes right back and it comes back stronger. And so I've learned to do some things to disrupt it, and moving my body is the number one thing. And so what I start saying, I gotta get off my knee, it hurt. What I start saying, the thing that I say to myself, and I'm sharing with you all to help if you know of somebody who has OCD or you yourself is living with OCD, the thing that I tell myself and the thing that I do is to, in order to get out of my head, I have to get out of my bed and move my body. Or I'll say it like, get out the bed to get out your head and move your body. So that's my mantra, that's my saying, my quote. It just came to me one day, earlier this year. I have another YouTube channel, and it's my wellness channel. And so I was on there, and it literally just came to me like that. And I just said it, get out your bed to get out your head and move your body. That's literally a cheat code. I love giving cheat codes. I'm a former gamer. I love giving, and a hooper. I love giving cheat codes. And so that's a cheat code I wanted to share with you all today on how I live well with OCD. I have to move my body. So it actually goes back into my former life, or continuation of my life, of being a wellness educator and just seeing how it all connects. I'm able to laugh and smile now. Sometimes I still have tough moments, but because I have more insight, I have more understanding of what's happening on the inside, I have more tips, tricks, tools, I can take control and power over what's happening in my brain, and my brain can't have control and power over me anymore because I have broken free from OCD. Ella, I've broken free from OCD, and I'm super grateful. I'm super thankful. So now I'm in a space, mentally, emotionally, I'm in a space where I want to help others break free from OCD, and just be like a peer support, your biggest advocate and cheerleader, because that's what I do well. Just someone who can advocate, encourage you, speak life into you, uplift you, and journey along with you in this as someone who's been living with it. Apparently, according to my psychotherapist, I've actually had it since I was a kid. It runs in my family. I had no idea, but when I went through what I started learning more about my family stories, because how many of y'all know back in the day, they didn't tell y'all, they didn't really speak about it. They just like pushed through and made it work. But they lived a life of struggle with that. And so I want to flip it on its head, and I want to live well with OCD and help others learn to live well with it too. And not be trapped in their thoughts and not be prisoner of their brain and their past. And so I'll share with y'all along the way what my experience is, and I hope y'all journey along with me. Put in the chat if you have OCD, if you know somebody that have OCD, if this was helpful. If you have any questions about it, I am an educator and an advocate first. And so this is how I'll be. I engage, I talk, I ask questions. I want to hear from you. I want to grow with you and journey along with you with this, because we all deserve to live well long, and to be free from OCD and any other mental conditions that try to keep us trapped in bondage in our brain. So yeah, I'm about to get a quick workout in, y'all. Quick workout in. Now I'm down to like 10 minutes. So y'all can get a little insight into me moving my body. I do HIIT training is one of my go-to. HIIT training. I also run. But I'm not going to run this morning. It was a lot of storms last night, so it's wet out there. I don't feel like going to the gym, and I don't have enough time to go to the gym. So I start with working out first in my home. That's how I started out back in the day. and it's still my go-to because it's free to work in your home and you work with what you have. And luckily, YouTube University has some great resources on here. So I do HasFit. HasFit has some HIIT training. Lifting weights is so important for your brain. Now, this is another conversation. I'll talk to y'all later about perimenopause and about ADHD, y'all. But it helps across the board. Moving your body helps across the board with OCD, PTSD, ADHD, and perimenopause. Those are 4 conditions that I have that impacts my brain, my energy, my mood, my drive, clarity, and my outlook on life. So I have to move my body. And it's free. It's a cheat code. So use what you have to take care of yourself. Let's get it in really quick. You don't even need a full 10 minutes. As soon as you start moving your body and getting into your life, you immediately feel better because you're out of your head. You're out of that loop. You don't feel trapped. You don't feel like, you have to be in lock and step with your brain. You're out in your life. You're living. And so it literally, when you are moving your body, it shuts it down. My guy Jim Quick say, when your body moves, your brain grooves. Okay? Body move, brain groove. So I'm getting my body moving so my brain can groove. Okay? I work out for my brain and my body reaps the benefits. Now they doing their stretches. I'm just getting my body moving. I'm just gonna do some stuff. Okay. Just to get my body moving.
3,
to prevent injury.
2, 1, 0. All right, another upper and lower body combo move for you. We're going to do a deep squat plus a T rotation. So feet are hip width apart. So deep squat is relative to you and what deep looks like for you. We're going to sit back as far as you can, keep good posture, my feet flat on the floor. Now with my left hand, I'm going to sit, you can. Inhale on the way down. And get that nice full T rotation, great for our thoracic spine. That reach is great for our shoulders and chest. Last one. I mentioned in the introduction, there are no.
I got 5 minutes left, y'all.
Which means we're just.
This is just doing something a little light. I also have some
first move is going to be
resistant bands at work, and I have steps at my job. So I can work out on the go as well. And so can you. If you have none of that stuff, you can just, if you're at work, just move your body. A little lunge. Oh, they doing a leg raise. I can turn this way so y'all can see me. Weights is super important for your brain and for your body and your muscles. Perimenopause, strength training, key. Perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopausal. Strength training is key. So I keep weights, but I also know from my former days that when you do anything with weights, your body burns fat well after you have finished exercise. So resistant bands, weights, it hits your muscles in a different way than just cardio alone. So for the most part, I include weights and strength training in my workouts. So you'll see me modify, or I should say intensify, some workouts by adding weights. I'm gonna do this so I can get some weights in. And also I'm working on my arms. The weights help tone up my arms because it burns off fat well after I have finished the exercise. That was a little something. I just need to move my body a little bit. I feel amazing now. This morning I did not. I did not feel amazing. This morning I had a challenging morning. And if I would have stayed in the bed, stayed in my head, got trapped, did what my brain was telling me to do, what OCD was telling me to do, my day would have spiraled. But because I use the tool and the trick of getting out of the bed to get out your head and move your body, I broke out of it, right? And moving your body didn't immediately have to be exercise. Remember I said I started off just getting out my bed, getting in the kitchen, doing dishes, sorting my laundry. And none of that stuff took a long time, but it just had me in my life and out of my head. You move forward, you don't get trapped in your brain. And this wasn't even a long workout, but the most important thing is I was moving my life forward. So remember that. Remember that if you are stuck in a loop, the OCD loop, the intrusive thought, the fear, the compulsion on that intrusive thought and the fear, responding with the compulsion, and then having a brief break, a little bit of a relief before it starts all over again. As soon as an intrusive thought comes, because you cannot stop intrusive thoughts, as soon as it comes, try not to ponder on it. Call it out for what it is. That's OCD. And get in your body and move. Don't respond to it. Get in your body and move. That you take power back. That you take control back over your brain and not allowing OCD to control you. So get out your bed to get out your head and move your body. All right? I hope this helped. I hope this served you well. Comment in the comment section. Again, if you have OCD, if you know somebody that has OCD, if you yourself are on your recovery journey, if you have some tips and tricks that have worked well for you, comment in the comment section, share with me, engage with me. Let's build this community together so we can live well, long, and free from OCD. Okay, until next time. Bye, y'all.